Flu season just around the corner, and we want to make sure you have all the information you need to make the best choices for you and your family. Dr. Salim Surani joins us live all morning long to discuss all things flu related. Good morning, Dr. Surani, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Brian. Nice to be here.
What is the flu and how is it different from the common cold?
The flu is actually a respiratory virus. What it does is it comes seasonal, and it involves your lung, the nose, the upper respiratory airway, and it can cause a serious and sometimes deadly disease. Almost 12 to 61,000 people die of flu each year. How it is different from the common cold? Most of the time in the common cold, you have running nose, a stuffy nose, some postnasal drip. But in the flu, besides that, you start having a body ache, myalgia, chills, and also, you can really get short of breath. And some people who are maybe in a high risk, they may end up admitting to the hospitals.
Well, what are the main symptoms of flu that we should watch for?
Just as I mentioned that, it's a respiratory virus, but also it involves several different organs. So, for example, you can have a fever, chills, running nose, a stuffed nose, cough, congestion, shortness of breath, body ache. When you're trying to wake up in the morning, it feels like every fiber of your body is hurting and you just can't get out of the bed. And all the people know that when we do that, I think I have a flu.
And how can we prevent the flu?
The best thing for prevention of the flu is you can get vaccination. This is the difference between a lot of the other conditions and respiratory virus. We do have a flu vaccine. So vaccination is important. Besides that, a lot of the things we can do: wash your hands regularly, disinfect the surface, keep the physical distancing. And if you're sick, somebody's sick, try to avoid contact, because that is how the viruses are going to spread. And if one has it, and if you don't take care of it, that bug becomes your family bug, and then your friend's bug, and it becomes a community bug.
And before you leave us, The Lancet, which is a medical publication that comes out on a regular basis, announced Thursday the results of a study showing a lessening of trust in vaccines in general worldwide. What was your take on hearing about that?
This is not surprising, because if you look at it, and I'll probably over the different segment, I'll try to say why it is important to get vaccine, even though the efficacy of the vaccine is not that high. If you take a flu vaccine, it's between 30 and 60% effective, but still that is very important to create a herd immunity. And we have talked about the concept of the herd immunity in the past. The way is that the flu virus is very smart, very interesting. What they do is they keep on changing their forms and strains every year. So you have to go ahead and kind of come up and guess that this year, these are the four main strains going to be circulating in my community or in this country. So every country, out of hundreds of different strains, they try to pick up the best based on the scientific evidence. So the efficacy is less. But on the other hand, the question is that people feel like, you need 60% of people to be kind of having antibodies, either because of vaccine or getting the flu. So if they have it, I'm protected. So that's a less fear, and that's the reason people kind of shy away from that.
Obviously a lot to talk about this morning, and I hope to do that throughout the morning, and since you're going to be with us, and thanks again. If you have any questions about either the coronavirus or the flu, you're welcome to text them to us so Dr. Surani can take a shot at them at 361-855-6397.